What is going on, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. My name is Richie, and today we're breaking down the big matchup between the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat tonight in Miami. Woo, this is a big game for the Knicks. They have unfortunately lost two in a row, two heartbreakers Friday night against San Antonio. Jalen Brunson, 61 points. We lose to a Victor Wembanyama's breakout party on Sunday night. Oklahoma City comes to town. I was in attendance in the game. I was at the Garden. The Knicks almost pull off the W, but SGA hit the game winner after Jalen Brunson got absolutely bamboozled for not getting the foul call with his game-winning shot. Should have been an and one. Should have given Jalen Brunson an opportunity to give the Knicks a chance to go into overtime. So now the Knicks are losers of two straight. So we got to talk about tonight's matchup. This is a really big game for the New York Knicks because we are getting into crunch time at the end of the regular season. Now, just a quick little personal update. There was a reason why I was unable to cover the game on Sunday night yesterday on the channel. I was, out late, of course, wasn't able to make it the night of the game. And then the day after, which was yesterday, happened to be my birthday. So I wasn't really able to figure out a time during my day on my birthday when I was going to cover the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Knicks game. But I will definitely share my thoughts with it here on this show. And, of course, talk about tonight's matchup against the Miami Heat, which is big time because you look at the standings right now, things are getting really interesting, okay? The Knicks are still at the 4th seed. And there's a lot of teams below the Knicks that are getting hot, okay? The Miami Heat are one of them, by the way. They're coming off 2 games ago, they killed, I think, the Trailblazers by like 60 points or something wild. But the Knicks right now are still right in striking distance for that 3rd seed, right behind the Cleveland Cavaliers at half a game. Now, the Milwaukee Bucks are 3 games ahead of the New York Knicks for the 2nd seed, and then right behind us are the Orlando Magic, okay? And the Indiana Pacers are not too far behind. Even the Miami Heat. We're 3 games back from the Bucks. The Heat are 3 games back from the Knicks. This is a big game tonight. We have to make sure that the Knicks do not fall 3 straight games in a row. Now, the big thing we got to talk about in tonight's game is this matchup is going to be very interesting. Obviously, the Miami Heat are the teams that eliminated the New York Knicks last year in the NBA playoffs. And the Heat are a team that just always, I don't know, they don't really play their best basketball in the regular season. It's kind of like they save themselves for when it matters the most in the playoffs. And as we saw last year, the 8th seed goes super far. But the reality is the Miami Heat are catching their rhythm. They are playing really good basketball, and the Knicks got to be able to contain this team and go on the road and get this win, bro, because we, number one, need to make sure we head into the playoffs with a positive momentum. And let's not get it twisted. Okay, we lost 2 straight games, but it's not like we're looking bad. Okay, I know that we lost 2 games and we are on a 2-game losing streak, but let's not pretend that we weren't competitive and we lost in heartbreaking fashion. And now we have to get back on the path of winning because we want to go into the playoffs on a positive rhythm, right? We want to have some momentum heading into the postseason. Of course, the elephant in the room is the injury concern. Still, the OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson sprains his ankle in his first game back. He's out, questionable for tonight. He could return. And then Julius Randle is completely up in the air. And people are operating like Randle might not even return this year. So a lot of things to break down here on the channel, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button when you're watching here on YouTube or you're watching it live on Twitter. I appreciate you guys big times. Thank you, CJ Talks Movie. Says, happy belated birthday, Richie. Thank you so much, CJ. I appreciate that. The Knicks hate agenda. You know it. Incoming 30 illegal screens from Bam. Oh, gosh, Will. You're giving me flashbacks. Lawrence says, Richie, if you give me a shout-out, the Knicks are definitely going to win tonight. Well, shout-out to Lawrence Rubin. Shout-out to Lawrence. If that's what I have to do for the Knicks to get the W, I will do it gladly. Even if it doesn't require a W, I'll still do it. Sup, Richie Rich? Happy birthday, Brody. Thank you, Fabian. I appreciate that, my friend. Richie, salute. Happy belated birthday. Hopefully you had a great day. Love you, bro. Have faith. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate you, my friend. Definitely appreciate the kind words, Corey. Definitely appreciate that big time. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button on your way into the show. We got Knicks basketball tonight. Let's get the vibes up. I don't want this 2-game losing streak to take away from Knicks fans' excitement. Because I'll be honest with you guys, that Friday night game against the Spurs, it stung that we lost, but I wasn't really concerned. I'm not like sitting there like, oh, man, we're doomed, right? And then we had a big game against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Tough matchup. almost was able to win. I'm still not in panic mode. I really hope Knicks fans are not in panic mode. We lost 2 straight games, one to a team that's not good in the Spurs, but we all know that they have a generational talent who is, destined to just have his great game. And unfortunately for us, it happened against the Knicks. And then we got hosed by the refs. Absolutely ridiculous. They got to fix that up and tighten it up. I just don't get it. Can we talk about that? Can we talk about that real quick, Knicks fans? What does Jalen Brunson need to do in order to get, respect? I mean, apparently, I don't know who said it. Who said some crazy quote? I think Brian Windenhorst or something. I think that's who it was. Where Brunson is, not getting calls because he's flopping or he's trying too hard. I don't know. Ridiculous. If the guy gets fouled, you make the whistle. Okay? You blow the whistle. Absolutely ridiculous, bro. Let's go back to that 61-point game from Jalen Brunson real quick. The guy shot 6 free throws and put up 61 points. How's that even possible? Usually when you have a player getting a career high in the 60s, there's a lot of free throws. He only had 6 free throws. 6 points from the free throw line. The rest of it was from the field. Crazy. Can you imagine if Jalen Brunson started getting calls? Unreal. But the reality is, the bad news about what's going on with the Knicks is definitely the injuries. Because now Mitchell Robinson's banged up again. Excuse me. Now that Mitchell Robinson's banged up again, he's going to be back. But what's going on with OG? What's going on with Julius Randle? And I think the Knicks fan base got to realize that we might have to go into these playoffs with no Julius Randle. That's how they're operating. And even OG Anunoby. We heard the Josh Hart quote, which I think people are blowing up a little bit. Let's talk about that real quick. What Josh Hart had to say. He said something along the lines, I'm paraphrasing, but Josh Hart said after the game on Sunday that the Knicks, he said he's not in the medical room. He's not in the medical conversations with Julius Randle and OG's injuries. But him and the team is preparing OG and Randle are not coming back. And that was the quote. And people are taking it and running with it, thinking okay, that means Randle and OG are done. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that's what he meant, right? I don't think he knows. The point is, he doesn't know what the heck is the update with their health. But what he does know is that this Knicks team can't be sitting there waiting for Julius and OG to come back. They got to figure out ways to win without them in the now and operate like they're never coming back, because they got to be able to continue to win without them. I think that's the mindset that the Knicks team has. I don't really think that means he knows something about their injuries that we don't know, that he's saying they're not coming back this year. I think Knicks fans kind of took that quote and twisted it a little bit and, of course, fed their fears of them being hurt for a long time. That's at least my take on it. I think he means that this Knicks team got to be start operating like they have been, like they're not coming back, so they don't rely on them, right? Because if they had that mindset oh, man, we suck without OG and Randle, and they just are all right, let's try to stay afloat and wait for them to come back. If they had that mindset, they'd be getting killed every game. But that's not their mindset. They're operating like they're never coming back. They got to figure out ways to win without them, rely on the new players in the rotation, in the starting 5, like Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride is the guy that's made a completely different dynamic to this Knicks team recently. I know since the trade he's been breaking out, but more recently it was when OG got re-injured. When OG went back out there and re-injured himself and went back to the bench, that's when Tibbs went to Deuce in the starting 5 next to Jalen Brunson. For the first time, by the way. That was the first time against that Golden State Warriors team a few weeks back, we saw Deuce start alongside Jalen Brunson. Earlier in the year, Deuce McBride would start when Jalen Brunson's injured. Remember, he was out for a few games with an ankle and he banged his knee, whatever. Deuce would start in replacement of Jalen Brunson in those games and play well. Very well, by the way. But then we're now seeing what Deuce looks like next to Jalen Brunson, and it's unlocking a new potential. It's unlocking something different with this team. They're playing small. They're playing fast. Deuce is absolutely shooting the lights out of the ball from 3. His defense is off the charts. Jalen Brunson's allowed to get a lot of space and just go to work. Dante DiVincenzo has been excellent from shooting the ball. And then not to mention Josh Hart's been the playmaker for this team. And Isaiah Hartenstein is coming off a dominant game. Hartenstein's getting better and better I mean, bro, I was at that game Sunday night at the Garden against OKC, and how many putback dunks did iHeart have? He was the garbage man. He was the cleanup guy. Now let's hope we get Mitch back because we need Mitch to get back in shape, bro. We can't have him tweaking his ankles out there. We need you in shape for the playoffs. So my point is this Knicks team is built to win without Julius Randle and OG Anunoby. How far they can go without them, that I cannot predict. I think we all know that this Knicks team is a way better team with OG and Randle healthy, but without them, they're winning. And a lot of it has to do with it. And think of it from this perspective. If they do get healthy, think of Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks. They are out of the rotation. You move Deuce and Josh Hart to the bench, and then you add OG and Randle, and that's your rotation. That's ridiculous. Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, OG Anunoby, Julius Randle, Isaiah Hartenstein, and then off the bench, Deuce McBride, Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa, and Mitchell Robinson. Dude, that is a 9-man rotation that can get the Knicks. Am I about to say the NBA Finals? I'm definitely pushing it. My point is, when fully loaded, bro, this Knicks team would be dangerous. Now, the big question is, will they ever be fully loaded? I don't know. And we can't, as a fan base, hope and pray about that. We just got to stay with it now and hope that they can keep winning. And then you got Burks and Bojan as insurance if anybody gets hurt. And Jericho Sims. I mean, this is the deepest this Knicks team has ever been in my entire life as a fan, it feels like, bro. It's absolutely ridiculous. Guys, don't forget to hit the like button. On your way into the show, we got Knicks Heat live preview here on Knicks Media. This show is being brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook. Let's check out the odds presented by BetUS in tonight's game. Definitely some interesting odds when I checked them out earlier today. The Knicks are 3-point underdogs, okay? So they got the Heat winning this game by 3 points. I absolutely love the Knicks +3 here, personally. Oh, I skipped off. There it is. The Knicks are at +3. And the over-under is extremely low. That's interesting. I think a big reason for that is these are two defensive juggernaut of teams in the Miami Heat against the New York Knicks. I actually would stay away from this because it's very unpredictable. That's a very low number. I mean, I would even take the over on this. Honestly, if that's really low. I could definitely see a defensive gritty game like the Heat and the Knicks always play, but 206 is really low. I'd consider that over. And then the Knicks are at +125 to outright win tonight's game. And the Knicks are at +3 on the spread. Now, if you guys didn't know, that BetUS has a fun player prop builder that you can have some fun and really build out an entire, parlay for the New York Knicks or in the NBA. Even baseball, of course, is up and running right now. RAP, my New York Mets. I don't want to talk about it. Let's not talk about the Mets, please. I don't want to get upset. I digress. So you see the point totals for our New York Knicks. Dante's at 17.5. Jalen Brunson's at 28.5. Ridiculous. I like Isaiah Hartenstein tonight to get 9 points. He's been absolutely money. I'm taking the over on Isaiah Hartenstein at 8.5 points. All right, let's make a little fun parlay here. And then we're going to take, let's see if they have Josh Hart's over-under on points, rebounds, and assists. What's that at? So Josh Hart's at 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I'm easily taking that. I love that. Easily. 26.5 over for Josh Hart. Points, rebounds, and assists combined. He's been doing that with ease. And then we'll finish it off with 3-pointers made. Who are we going to take in this one? So we got Dante's at 3.5. Brunson's at 2.5. Deuce is at 2.5. I mean, we're taking Dante. We're taking Big Ragu. I mean, this is the Knicks franchise record in most 3-pointers in a game, most 3-pointers in a season. The guy is going crazy. We're taking that. So this is a 3-leg parlay. If you guys want to tail your boy, I've been cooking on these, and I've been actually hitting a lot. So the odds are at +550 on BetUS. You put $50 on this, you'll win $325. Or you put $100 down, you'll win $650. So definitely consider either making your own parlay or anything. I got, again, Isaiah Hartenstein over 8.5 points. Josh Hart over 26.5 points, rebounds, and assists combined. And over 3.5 3-point field goals made. I'm probably going to put around $50 on this myself to win $325. So again, if you want to sign up for BetUS and trail your boy, that link is pinned in the bottom of the description. Open up your account today. Receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500. Big time shout out to BetUS.
BetUS, America's favorite sportsbook and casino. Live betting and racebook. We're celebrating 30 years with a historic offer. A 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Plus 10% gambler's insurance. Get started today. BetUS, where the game begins.
Really, Steven? Really, Steven? You got to rub this in my face? You Yankees fans make me sick. Why? Because I'm jealous. It's that simple. Damn it. At least I got my Knicks, though, and hopefully my Jets. But, boy, the Mets are making me sick. We're not turning this into a Mets show because I will be sick to my stomach for the rest of the show. Jimmy's in the chat, my boy. Knicks will win if Deuce has a major game. Put ABP out on Burks and Bogey ass. That's hilarious. Bro, Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks have low-key been a very big disappointment. I think it's time for us Knicks fans to admit that, which is sad. Sad, but it's the truth. Sad, but the truth. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button for your boy on your way into the show. The Knicks are taking on the Miami Heat tonight, and I'm really excited because I feel like the Knicks are going to get back on track. Jalen Brunson is going to have a 30-plus point game. Dante's going to light it up from 3, and the Knicks are about to remind the people who we are. Let's go. Let's get some more optimism. I don't want these 2 games that we're losing to impact the Knicks fans' hype for the season. I'm not letting it slide. Bojan is a disaster every time he touches the ball. Yeah, bro. I've been not impressed with Bojan. I got to be honest with you folks. I'm not impressed. I mean, sometimes he has a good fourth quarter. He'll score like 7 points in a stretch, which is basically all we need, bro. If Bojan can come in and just like help us start the fourth quarter on a good note, that will be enough for sure. Let's see that. Let's actually see that. That's Bojan's role for the Knicks. He's not worse than Burks, that's for sure. Alec Burks is an abomination, and every time I see that guy dribble the basketball, I have no faith, no confidence. I'm like, dude, what is Alec Burks up to with the ball in his hand right now? Like, what is he gonna do? What is he gonna do with it? Oh, I know what he's gonna do with it. He's gonna do a step back 3-pointer with 2 hands in his face and miss it every time. Craziness. Only thing that worries me is the start of the first and fourth quarters have been horrendous. Also, a big issue that we haven't even talked about on the show yet that happened on Sunday night against the Thunder is that this Knicks team stinks when Jalen Brunson's on the bench, to say the lightly. The Knicks team got outscored by a lot when Jalen Brunson was on the bench. That's how they lost. The Thunder took advantage of Jalen Brunson resting. And that scares me because now Tibbs knows that, and he's not going to take Brunson out. Knowing Tibbs, he's like, oh, that's how we lost. They went on runs when Brunson was resting. Well, Jalen, you're not resting tonight. You're playing 44 minutes. That's probably what Tibbs is going to do. Just joking. At least you never know. Sounds like it could happen, right? So my point is the Knicks got to find some scoring, and that kind of connects right to what we were saying about Bogdanovic and Burks. Those are the guys that's supposed to help this Knicks team offensively off the bench, and they're not. That's it. We just connected it together. We just connected the dots live. We're criticizing Bogdanovic and Burks, and then I just realized, yeah, the reason why we lost against the Thunder is every time Brunson's on the bench, the Knicks stink. Who's on the court when Brunson's on the bench? Bogdanovic and Burks. Makes sense. We need them to step up. That's what we got them for. And they've been a disappointment. A big disappointment. Both of them. Burks more than Bogdanovic, but I'm being straight up with you folks. I've been underwhelmed with Bogdanovic. So they got to really step up. They still got time because, bro, all we really need them for is the playoffs. If they step up in the postseason, all will be forgiven. That's why we got them, to be honest. Bojan has a lot of playoff experience, which I love. He's not afraid of the big moment. I'm not going to sit here and say give up on Bogdanovic and Burks and say we'll never give them any minutes. But I do think that there's still an opportunity for them to find their rhythm and find their roles. It still feels like they don't have their roles. Like the one thing I noticed at the game, bro, when you go to the Knicks games, you see the game as such a different perspective. Like I love going to basketball games like for the Knicks because you just see things differently than on the broadcast. I was so blown away by the Knicks ball movement on offense. Like their ball movement, off-ball movement, their fluidity and continuity on offense is absolutely gorgeous. Like, I don't know if you guys, I know that we've noticed it as a fan base together, right? That it's different. But when you go to a Knicks game, and I was sitting like kind of not behind the basket, but from the diagonal, like the angle, if you will, the first row of the 200 section. So like right on that first row up high, you see the off-ball movement, cutting, backdoor, fake pass. I mean, moving without the ball, cutting, kicking. I mean, it was such a joy to watch this Knicks team. Unfortunately, we lost. But, when you're sitting there the whole game watching this Knicks team go to work offensively, and not to mention their defense, is another joy to watch. They're attached like a string. And I know I hate sound like I'm praising a game that the Knicks lost, but it's just something I noticed, and I'm not taking it for granted. How many times has us Knicks fans, at least I can admit myself, where you were watching another team play or even against the Knicks and they've excellent ball movement, they find the open shooter, and you're just like, wow, why can't how can the Knicks get that? Like, why? That's so cool. I always thought that around the NBA for years, and now the Knicks are doing it. Therefore, I'm appreciating it. I'm not going to let that just get normal in my mind. Because I remember sitting there thinking to myself, why can't the Knicks ever have smooth ball movement and look like an actual good basketball team? And they have that right now. They establish a culture right in front of our freaking faces, and it's a gorgeous thing to see. I remember where this Knicks team was, and I'm not going to forget. And hopefully this is a sign of continuity of terms of year in and year in success, right? Because all we want for this Knicks team is to be competitive every season, in the playoffs every season, in the upper, echelon of the Eastern Conference every single season. And I think that's happening before our eyes. That's freaking cool. No matter how far we go in the playoffs, that will, decide and make it cooler or not. But let's not forget that we were a lottery team for feels like a decade straight. Okay? So it's really, really dope to see our Knicks, and I know that there's a bigger picture here, right? We're out of the mud, but now we're not satisfied. We want to go far. We want to go make noise in the postseason. We don't want to be happy now that, oh, yay, we're a good team. We can make the playoffs and then get bounced every single year in the first or second round. We want to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals this year. That's the goal. Obviously, the NBA Finals and winning the championship is the major goal. But for me, I think if the Knicks go to the Eastern Conference Finals and lose, the season is a success, in my opinion. If we go to the first round and lose, it's a failure. If we go into the second round, it's kind of like no improvement. Happened last year, no improvement. But if we get to the Eastern Conference Finals, that's like a big improvement. First time the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals in how long? 24 years? Since 2000? If my Knicks history is correct, that's the last time the Knicks were even in the Eastern Conference Finals, which they won, by the way, going to the playoffs. Going into the finals as the 8th seed. Is that the year I'm thinking about? I was 2 years old at that time, by the way. So that would be huge. That's what Knicks fans want. And listen, I know that we're so narrow focused in on the standings and seeing which teams, which seed are we. The reality is, I don't care who the heck we have to go up against. We have to be able to match up against anybody in the playoffs. I don't care if it's the Heat. I don't care if it's the Pacers. I don't care if it's the Bucks, the Celtics. If you want to be the best, we got to beat the best. So I'm not really worried about, we got to get this seed so we can avoid this team and get in that way. Do this, do that. If this Knicks team is legit, they will beat whoever's in front of them. That's how good teams operate. They don't worry about their opponent. They go in with the mindset of anybody that's coming to the Garden, we are beating. And we will go into your arena and beat you. That should be the mindset. So let's hope that the Knicks can stay afloat. We are now in the month of April, which is the start of the NBA playoffs. The playoffs begin at the end of the month. The last game of the regular season is the 14th. I'm pretty sure the NBA playoffs will start the weekend of the 19th of April. That would be my assumption. That weekend is going to be the NBA playoffs. Oh, boy. Crazy. 3 weeks. 1, 2, 3. 3 weeks. Holy crap. It's coming. 3 weeks from now, we'll have NBA basketball with the New York Knicks. Think about that for a sec. I'm ready for it, though. Bring it on. I'm ready. Folks, don't forget to hit the like button for your boy if you're watching us live on YouTube. If you're watching us live on Twitter, shoot me a follow. I really do appreciate that, folks. It's been a pleasure being live with you, folks. We got a big, big, big game for these New York Knicks tonight against the Miami Heat in Miami, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, in Miami. It's going to be a very, very big game for these New York Knicks that they got to get back on track, snap that 2-game losing streak, get back in the win column. I'm manifesting, and I see a Jalen Brunson masterclass right before our eyes. I see it. I think that Jalen Brunson is about to actually win this game for the Knicks in the clutch. I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be one of those gritty games that goes down to the wire. But I do see the Knicks coming out on top. And if you check out the odds on BetUS, the Knicks are 3-point underdogs. So if you like the Knicks to win, definitely consider sprinkling some cash down on BetUS Sportsbook, the official sportsbook sponsor of the channel. I think that the Knicks, how many games are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 8 games left. And what's our record? We got 44 wins. So we need to go 6-2 to get the 50 wins. 6-2 in the last 8 games to get the 50 wins. Ooh, I would love to get the 50. I would love to get the 50 wins. 50-32. Worst is 48. You got to go 4-4 these last, if anything. So we shall see. I think that the Knicks have a chance to get to that 50 win mark. I mean, the Western Conference is such an interesting battle, bro. The battle for the first seed in the West is so fascinating to me. I mean, it's literally a 3-team race between the Minnesota Timberwolves, Denver Nuggets, and OKC Thunder. The Thunder are in first place with a half-game lead over the Nuggets and a 1-game lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves. And then the Clippers, wow, the Mavericks are on a 7-game win streak. They're red hot. Yeah, the West is fascinating, man. The Warriors got hot after the Rockets were starting to creep up on them with their winning streak. The Lakers, damn, the Lakers are 42-33 and are the 9th seed. That's kind of wild. To put things in perspective, the Miami Heat are 41-33 and they're the 7th seed. So just to add some perspective to it. But the good news is we got to keep going. Keep staying afloat and get the job done. Yo, Richie, are you going live on BetUS today? Yes, Jason, I am going live on BetUS in actually 25 minutes. So if anybody wants to come through and check out BetUS TV, your boy's live on there. Any NFL fans, definitely come check out what we do over on BetUS TV. As you guys know, they're the proud sponsors of this channel, but they also have a YouTube channel called BetUS TV. And your boy is on their YouTube channel Monday through Friday. Every single, weekday, I'm on there at 3 o'clock. So if you guys want to check it out, I just put the link in the chat. This is it right here. It's all coverage of football, NFL coverage. So it's not basketball related. But again, it's all football. It's me, Dan Mitchell, TD Finns Talk at Buffalo Bills, and a Miami Dolphins fan. It's a lot of fun. So if you guys want to go check us out here, we're live every single Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. I got to get out of here so I can get ready for this show. But, guys, the link is in the top of the chat if you are interested to check out your boy live on BetUS TV. Would greatly appreciate you guys tuning into that show. It's been a lot of fun. I get into a lot of heated debates. Even if you're not a Jets fan, tune in. We talk about all things NFL. It's not a Jets-related show. It's an NFL-related show. So that's going to wrap up this show, folks. Hopefully the New York Knicks can get the job done in Miami, get back in the win column, and hopefully get some vibes back into, restore some vibes amongst the Knicks fan base heading into tonight's game. I got the Knicks to win. I'm going to recover whatever happens tomorrow morning here on the channel, so stay tuned for that, folks. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Let's go, Knicks! And I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.